They insult you, and your temper flares. Someone disrespects you, and your thoughts frantically search for the ideal retort. You wish to refute them, to demonstrate to them that you are not a weakling, but that desire, that flash of feeling that flames up in your heart. That is where most men lose themselves. The Stoics were aware of this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius once noted, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." To respond is natural, but to transcend response, that is godlike. When life annoys you, your feelings are a spark beside dry brush. If you don't pay attention, the little flame grows into a blaze, and once it gets loose, it devours everything. Your clarity, your serenity, your mastery. This is what the Stoics referred to as the first movement. Epictetus taught, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That interval between the event and your response is where strength is born, but reaction has become addiction in our world today. Individuals react first and think afterward. They tweet first and breathe second. They argue first and listen second. They rage first and reflect second. Each warning, each argument, each rejection tugs on your feelings like the strings on a puppet. And gradually, without even knowing it, you find yourself being controlled by the very things you imagine you are controlling. The Stoic does not repress emotion. He is in command of it. He sees it well up, recognizes its existence, and determines whether to act or not. He doesn't act on impulse. He acts wisely. Imagine a serene lake. If a stone is cast into it, the water waves, but quickly calms down. That is the state your mind must be in: quiet, contemplative, profound. The Stoics lived this not in temples or monasteries, but amid turmoil. Marcus Aurelius was emperor of Rome, besieged by treachery, war, and illness, but wrote, "Remain calm within no matter what happens outside." Seneca was exiled, falsely accused, and threatened with death. But he taught, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." You see, responding is simple. It is what people do, but to rise, that takes guts. When someone is insulting you, your ego wants to engage, but your better self whispers, "Don't respond, rise." When things turn out bad, your mind yells, "Why me?" But the Stoic response, "Try me." At those times of emotional turmoil, you stand at a fork in the road. Down one road is the response, anger, resentment, chaos. Down the other is restraint, wisdom, power, peace. And the one you take determines who you will be. Marcus Aurelius did not merely put pen to paper. He conditioned himself on a daily basis to be unmoved. He reminded himself that other folks' actions are a reflection of their nature, not his. That insults say more about the speaker than they say about the target, and that the only freedom is self-mastery. Picture your worst foe spewing words at you, attempting to shatter your composure. They are anticipating your response, your rage, your protest. But you instead smile inwardly, move away, and maintain your composure. In that silence, they lose all their strength. Because when you don't respond, you reclaim power, you become invincible. This is not weakness. This is not apathy. It is the ultimate strength, emotional independence. The Stoics likened it to being in the center of a tempest, untouchable by the winds. All that is around you stirs, but you stay unmoving, rooted in inner tranquility. Because true power is not the capacity to hit back. Real power is being able to keep your head while the world is waiting for you to lose your mind. So the next time you get provoked, the next time life tests you, stop, take a breath. Recall this truth. Each reaction starts way ahead of the moment itself. It starts in the habits you cultivate when nobody is around. Marcus Aurelius didn't wake up one morning suddenly immune to insult or anger. He trained for it, quietly, patiently, like a soldier honing his blade before combat. Every day he reminded himself, today I shall encounter people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous and surly, but none of them can hurt me, for I will not permit it. That was his armor, not metal, not shields, but mindset. The Stoics referred to this as premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It meant to envision, before the day starts, all that could challenge you, the impoliteness of an outsider, the treachery of a friend, the delay, the loss, the suffering. By anticipating the storm, they were not upset when it came. That is how you rise before you react. You practice peace. Seneca said that the wise man is neither raised by prosperity nor cast down by adversity. He is firm because he has already encountered both in his mind. He understands that life won't always be gentle, and that is exactly what makes him resilient. Consider your mornings. You wake up, scroll through your phone, and suddenly you are drawn in 1,000 different ways emotionally. News, messages, opinions. By the time you've had breakfast, your mind has already responded 10 times, but the Stoic starts in another way. Before he goes out into the world, he grounds himself. He breathes, he recalls, I control my response, not the world. When you begin the day in that way, every obstacle is less. You pass through tumult with a silent strength that others sense but cannot perceive. They will accuse you of being calm, uninvolved, perhaps even cold, but within you seethe with concentration, the tranquil flame of self-control. Epictetus instructed his pupils in something uncomplicated but revolutionary. If you desire to become better, be content to be reputed foolish and stupid in outward matters. He is saying, stop seeking validation. When you are no longer in need of others to validate you, you are free to respond with reason rather than reaction. Because most reactions stem from ego, you react because you are feeling attacked, unseen, disrespected. But the Stoic views these as tests of perception. He asks himself, what story am I telling myself that makes this event feel personal? A man bumps into you. That is an event. You think, he disrespected me. That is the tale. The hurt is not from the bump, but from the meaning you've given it. And that meaning is always yours to choose. As you practice distinguishing events from interpretations, your reactions recede into awareness. You begin to catch yourself before you blow up. That fleeting hesitation, one breath, 1 second, becomes the entrance to wisdom. Seneca referred to anger as a temporary madness, and he was correct, for in those seconds reason vanishes. Your head is filled with feeling. Your muscles bristle, your words spill out before your heart can catch up. You lose yourself. But suppose, in that very instant, you could drift away from yourself. Watch the emotions swell, as if you are gazing at a tempest behind a pane of glass. You'd see how rapidly it crests, and how rapidly it subsides, if only you don't nourish it. That is the Stoic practice. Observing, not participating. You sense the feeling, but don't become it. You allow it to pass through you as wind passes through the tall blades of grass. This is not repression. It is refinement. It is educating your mind that calmness isn't weakness. It is mastery. Practice is offered every day. Traffic, delays, criticism. Each one whispers. The same question, react or rise. Most react without considering. But you are exercising for the second. So the next time you get cut off, the next time your plans get ruined, keep Marcus Aurelius in mind at his desk with candlelight, scribbling words not to impress anyone, but to train himself. If it is endurable, then endure it, stop complaining. Because every reaction takes away your energy. Every complaint reduces your focus, and every time you rise up rather than react, you gain invisible strength, the kind that can't be stolen, only created. When life hits you with pain, your first instinct is to ask, "Why me?" But the Stoic asks, "What now?" Pain is not the enemy, it's the invitation. An invitation to grow tougher, wiser, quieter inside. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle is the way." He didn't mean it as poetry, he meant it as practice. Whatever blocks you, becomes you. Whatever hurts you, builds you when someone insults you. Remember, their words reflect their state, not your worth. You can't stop them from speaking, but you can stop their noise from echoing in your mind. This is how you rise, by refusing to let others drag you into their chaos. Next time anger knocks, open the door only if calmness stands beside you. Because reacting is easy, rising, that's rare. When you stop reacting, something powerful happens. You begin to see. You see that most conflicts aren't worth fighting. You see that silence can cut deeper than anger. You see that peace isn't weakness, it's control. The Stoics knew this well. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." And that's the secret. Reactions give away your power. Hold your ground, not by shouting louder, but by standing quieter. When someone tests your patience, smile within yourself, because you're watching your own transformation. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you're proving that mastery isn't about domination, it's about discipline. Don't fight to be understood. Just be unshakable. That's how the strong move, not by reacting, but by rising. There will always be moments that test you. People will provoke you, misunderstand you, even betray you. But the true Stoic doesn't fight the storm. He becomes the calm within it. Every time you refuse to react, you take back control from the world. You stop being a puppet, pulled by others' emotions, and start becoming the master of your own. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's not just ancient wisdom. It's a timeless reminder that peace is your choice. So the next time someone tests your patience, don't lower yourself to their level. Smile, breathe. Remember, your silence speaks volumes that anger never could. This is the way of the Stoic. Don't react, rise. Because when you do, the world no longer controls you. You control yourself. And that's where true power begins now. If this message resonates with you, take a deep breath and type "Rise Above" in the comments. Let's remind each other that calm is not weakness. It's the ultimate form of strength. Join the Stoic Resto community, where we turn adversity into wisdom and chaos into clarity. Stay calm, stay powerful. And remember, you were never meant to react. You were meant to rise.